Hey folks, it's Mike Ryan, and if you're watching our show, you've probably known your boy has undergone a little bit of a body transformation, and I gotta tell you, Peloton has helped me on my fitness journey. It got the ball rolling for me because I watch my wife on the Peloton. She takes all these great classes, she has her favorite instructors. I listen to the music, I'm a big music guy. It gets me fired up, makes me want to take part in this fitness phenomenon known as Peloton. Peloton offers a variety of challenging classes, from 4-week strength building classes to running, cycling, and everything in between. Peloton will help you achieve your goals, and maybe you'll have some fun along the way. I know I have. It's backed by thousands of members whose lives have been changed. Be part of that group. Telling you, I'm better for it. Have it in my office. Sometimes I can put on the baseball game. Sometimes I can put on a soccer match. Some other times I'm totally locked in on an emo playlist. Find your push. Find your power with Peloton at onepeloton.com.
This episode is brought to you by Chevy Silverado. When it's time for you to ditch the blacktop and head off-road, do it in a truck that says no to nothing. The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. Get the rugged capability of its Z71 suspension and 2-inch factory lift. Plus, impressive torque and towing capacity thanks to an available Duramax 3-liter turbo diesel engine. Where other trucks call it quits, you'll just be getting started. Visit Chevy.com to learn more.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Because people need their football, Nate Tice is going to join us here in a segment executive produced by Billy Gill. We're going to play Naughty or Tice with Nate Tice and Billy Gill of God Bless Football to get our draft information. Billy is looking through papers right now, wondering what is Naughty or Tice.
You know, though. It's one of those games, you hear it, you know.
I think Billy just found out that he's executive producing that segment. We'll get to it in a moment. Also, I still want to get to WrestleMania because we have not. And I also want to get to the stuff happening with McAfee and Shannon Sharpe because wrestling happened yesterday on ESPN. And if you're welcoming in the age of wrestlers and wrestling and it's all content and it's all drama, what happened on McAfee's show is about some inner office tensions there that super interesting to me, watching the athletes come and try and run off the journalists. Like Stephen A. Smith isn't going to... Stephen A. Smith might be the coolest of us, but it's a new time, and McAfee and Shannon Sharpe are in the $100 million game. I'm going to let play out some of the Shannon Sharpe stuff because there's time to know what's true or what's not. I'm just going to address what I saw happen this weekend, which was strategic. Over the weekend, it leaks Shannon Sharpe contract up worth $100 million, whatever the numbers were. And I'm like, why would that come out on the weekend? Oh, because then everything that comes after that can be framed as money grab or whatever it is that people do when they're arguing about money and now accusations of rape inside of a consensual relationship. The money was leaked first. And then you get what you got yesterday from Shannon Sharpe. Busby's a lawyer that does these things, but I'm not going to try and talk about the particulars of who's right, who's wrong. I just thought it was interesting that purposely money is leaked on the weekend, and I'm like, what? Why is this happening now? Who's doing this and why? And then what happens the next day? As you find that McAfee and Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith are becoming a class of journalist, celebrity, entertainer. It's all wrestling. Wrestling's going to Netflix. Tony Khan knows how to sell stuff in the streaming service. ESPN's going to get into the wrestling, fighting, information business, all of it mixed together. What happened yesterday on ESPN is something I've never seen watching ESPN in my lifetime, where Pat McAfee, who's independent, as part of a wrestling promotion where he stars because he's a monster media talent, an event that Mike Ryan goes with his buddies to and that Zaslow wants to cover, McAfee, a giant star, has a wrestling superstar manager on, and that guy's too hot for television. Like, what he's doing cannot be controlled by Disney. Wrestling has arrived to Disney, and it's like, here's what it looks like. We're in the middle of your game, and we're going to say McAfee's smoking pot, and he's mother bleeping Stephen A. Smith. Let's play that sound so that people can hear as McAfee gets sheepish, and they all do wrestling on television in a way that's great if you like drama and entertainment and wrestling storyline.
Do you care about the opinions of people who are irrelevant? You don't care about the opinions of most people who are very relevant in your life. You don't care about the opinions of the people who pay you. They sit there and they go, hey, Mr. McAfee, don't talk about Shannon Sharp on the air today. And you go, I talk about anything I want. I'm Pat McAfee. Right. Watch me swing my schlong all over the place. They go, McAfee, don't talk about your podcast on the air. What do? I'm King Schlong. Okay. Watch me, Pat McAfee. Right?
This is on you. This is about you, not me.
Last night when the roast was over and you and I were out back and you're going, wise man. By the way, it's puff, puff, pass, not puff, 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 chase down the gummy, puff, 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 pass, right? And you go, wise man. You know Stephen A. Smith really sucks, right? And I go, I love Stephen A. The man calls me the GOAT. The man, Stephen A. Smith, is on the air saying, if there's one person in the universe that I, Stephen A. Smith, at $70 billion a year want to be, it's the wise man Paul Heyman. And you sit there and you go, these ESPN bastards give me the same money as him or they can.
No, that's not true. None of that's true.
I've loved professional wrestling all my life.
I mean, that's not even like the clip that went super viral for Paul Heyman there, where he's saying, you look like you're about to get deported to one of the people. And he's just going like, he's trying to get a new heel persona. He's always kind of been heel adjacent, but he's launching a more aggressive heel character, and he's using the Pat McAfee show to do it by doing things that are considered third-railed. Did a good enough job in protecting Pat being like the traffic cop, like, no, you can't do that. And so maybe he hears about it, maybe he doesn't, but WWE and Pat McAfee and ESPN clearly have a very good, strong relationship. They find this mutually beneficial. WWE produced an incredible event that Pat had at the Penguins Arena that was all entirely a WWE production that went on Hulu or that ESPN used. So I think that's actually pro wrestling happening on a television show. I'm not reading too much into it, even though it gets people's attention.
That's the most pro wrestling I think that's ever been on ESPN television. And it's not a coincidence that it comes from that guy, because that guy, Paul Heyman, is so embedded in this is the gimmick, and if a camera's on or if we're recording something, then I am in the gimmick. And that was what we saw. It's leading up to what he wanted to take place and ended up taking place last night, and this is a very bitter man, and he's angry, and he brought that on television there, and he's old school pro wrestling where, it doesn't matter that I'm on your stage. This is me. This is my character.
Okay, but when you guys talk about old school pro wrestling, I don't know how the rest of the room feels. I have not asked Billy, Jessica, Chris, or Roy how they feel about the grown man allegiances that Zaz and Mike Ryan have to the entertainment spectacle that is WrestleMania and professional wrestling.
I love it.
I mean, I see what you're trying to do there. We're not the guys that fell for pro wrestling. You are. Like, you all thought that Paul Heyman was doing something like super dangerous that was very controversial because he just invoked some names. Like, that was pro wrestling.
He brought up the lawsuit.
Yeah, that's pro wrestling. It's pro wrestling, and he got heat, and he got his bit over.
Yep.
He's one of the greatest minds in the history of pro wrestling in terms of getting things over.
So you think ESPN suits were watching that and being like, awesome?
I'm sure I'm sure there's a suit. I'm sure that maybe it was at least communicated even before or after, but this is a work. Don't work yourself into.
You know what a work is? You know what that means?
I do, yes. Okay. And I would say that Mike Ryan is applying some expertise here that when egos get involved, Mike, like I understand that you might cite it as a work. McAfee would know it's a work. Not everybody at ESPN is in on that particular joke. And so we have learned on occasion when we are doing the joke at the expense of Dana White, who might not have the same sense of humor as we have, that sometimes what we think is a work and know is a work and the audience knows is a work is not taken as a work by a Dana White who might have a different view of things.
I totally understand. And if someone on First Take feels some way about it, it would be explained to them the way that we explained our bits to people that took offense. Buster Olney not liking the looks like game. Like, we've had all these things happen, and we've had to explain this is the kind of show that we do. We didn't mean to hurt your feelings. We understand. We're committed to our show, and McAfee is very truly committed to. I think the wrestling thing is the thing that he enjoys the most. The show probably that afforded him this opportunity to have all these crazy doors open. But the Pat McAfee that you get on WWE seems genuinely like the happiest to be there. I think that's the most fun he has.
He got choked out last night on live television in the show.
Spoiler alert.
You guys were living and dying with WrestleMania, so what were the takeaways between the two of you? Because Zaslow hasn't offered me anything other than Cena, 17-time champion.
I mean, if you want to mark out, go for it, Zaz. I'm sure. I love the spectacle of it. It's always a great part of the year.
This is the way wrestling has changed for me from when I'm a kid, where, okay, I'm rooting for certain wrestlers. I want certain guys to win because I'm a child. To now, as I'm older, it's more about, especially if I go, and Mike went to WrestleMania, I didn't. Go into a wrestling event now, for me as an adult, I want to be part of a moment. I want to be part of something big. I want to be there when the crowd, all simultaneously, all 60,000 people at that arena, at that stadium this weekend, they're all cheering at the same time for the same thing. It's a great feeling. I love the emotion that comes with that. It's about being there for moments. And Mike got several moments this weekend, which makes it an amazing time.
Isn't John Cena, though, the face of, like, the PG era of wrestling?
Well, and now he's a real piece of garbage, this John Cena.
But are we
PG.
Are we liking this? Like, are we buying this? I'm seeing some people being like, it feels like wrestling is just, I don't know, it just feels almost like lazy.
It like that Triple H very clearly took offense to people criticizing the build to WrestleMania. And I think the build was the build. And Triple H can say you don't know where it's going, but we're just in a vacuum criticizing the lead up to it. It does actually seem like there's clarity in the direction of this heel character. John Cena turned heel a month and a half ago, and he just found his character. And he's just starting to get it over, beginning with last night. That probably was a disappointment, the very main event. And
I think that's part of it, though. I think they want you to be disappointed. They wanted you to be angry at them. That's part of this story. I mean, some people...
They don't want you to be disappointed after a main event.
Well, I mean, I think you got to look at the bigger picture where it's like, hey, the whole show is not just the main event. Like Mike, maybe you didn't like the main event. Did you have a great time? Did you think it was a great show?
I thought the triple threat match that won.
Well, that's what matters. You thought it was a great show. You had a great time.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a spectacle every time. I enjoy it. And I actually spoke to a friend of the show that is working on a project exploring different types of sports fandom. And he took into account this WrestleMania event for the first time, not knowing anything about it. And it was really cool to kind of be texting with that person as they were experiencing it, kind of being swept away by the spectacle.
It's nice that you tried to protect your source, but somebody revealed that source on yesterday's show, and I was learning of who it is you were at WrestleMania with, at least in part, because that person was trying to learn about what the WrestleMania experience is, because that person doesn't think that what you guys are attached to here is a sane thing that human beings should be emotionally invested in.
It's ridiculous. Why would anyone? Why does I just don't understand the part where people have a problem with other people enjoying a show. That's what it boils down to.
I get it.
You do?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like Big Bang Theory. I thought people that liked it were not my type of people, so I get it.
But are you telling people don't watch Big Bang Theory? You shouldn't be watching that?
I would.
You're an adult?
I would. I mean, I'm more chill now that I'm older. There was a time where I'm like, how can this be a good show? How do you like this show? I don't understand it. And then I realized art is subjective, and if people put their heart and soul into it, I shouldn't be criticizing it all that much. But to me, it's no different than being a fan of The Last of Us. But
those aren't events, though.
Wrestling fans do kind of deserve the ribbing.
Such a good shout on that show. He couldn't have picked a better show.
It's real to me.
It's just a polarizing show. Some people really love it, and you're just like, why?
The Last of Us?
No. I'm talking about Big Bang Theory. Very polarizing.
I thought you were talking about The Last of Us 2, which, by the way, season 1 was really scary, so I decided I'm not going to watch season 2, but I am going to lurk. I'm gonna be
It's good.
aware of it.
It's started strong. It's visually fantastic, and
It's a great show.
everyone likes the acting.
It's a
yes.
good show. I just finished that one, by the way.
And
Oh.
Season 2?
Oh, season 3.
Oh.
I have thoughts.
Can we talk about it now? Is the embargo?
Spoiler Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. White Lotus.
We can talk about the White Lotus.
White Lotus.
Right
About
now.
White
If
Lotus?
you haven't caught up, like spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Like, it's very interesting to see how people like view the relationship of Walton Goggins' character a little bit, because there were some people that were really devastated by it, and as someone that kind of was just passively following it, I understand the trauma, but they did a lot of foreshadowing that this wasn't actually going to go anywhere, and it led to demise. Like, so there are people that are really swept up in romanticizing it, and you can kind of tell some people have had trauma in their lives, and I get why they associate it that way, but I didn't think that this was like, it wasn't couples goals to me the way that a lot of people felt like it was.
The last part, 100% agree with you. Yeah. I was not really sold on the emotional arcs of several of the characters this season, simply because I just don't think the writing was as tight as the first couple seasons. Like, I think there was just not enough to make me really invested.
My appraisal toward the end of it was that they copped out, and if he'd gone totally dark with how beautiful, and again, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, if they had stayed with the only one who died amid the riches was the kid who was looking up at the Buddhists, like the artistry of all of that visually, if they had ended dark with death, that ending would have been beautiful. But instead, they just wrapped up all the storylines after that, including spa owner waves as if she's on a cruise ship, and they just sort of wrapped it up in a way that wasn't artful. That was my criticism of the end of it. But the journey of it, where that's the death that you get and the plot twist, I understand why everybody was, or so many people were watching that show, and then that the conclusion of it would be unsatisfying because why? Because they wanted different results. They wanted...
Would you say it was I don't think it was unsatisfying. I think it kind of delivered in that it gave you a moment to discuss.
Yeah.
And people can have their opinions as to whether or not it was good or bad, but I think everybody was there for the event, and in terms of like an appointment viewing event, well, the White Lotus finale did kind of deliver on that and giving you talking points.
It's a very entertaining show, and I just think that the characters in this season weren't the strongest, especially compared to the first two seasons, which were shorter seasons and shorter episodes and sort of delivered more of a punch.
I don't think it's that entertaining. I think it's intriguing. I think it's an intriguing show. But most weeks, I feel like nothing is happening.
It's easy to watch, though, because it's a mystery.
Can you be intrigued by something but not be entertained by it? Because I think entertainment is intriguing sometimes.
Well, yes.
Like pro wrestling sometimes.
Yes, that is entertaining and intriguing.
But if you're intrigued, you must be a little bit entertained to be intrigued.
I'm interested. No, because I want to find out the mystery. I want to find out what's going to happen. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm entertained every episode. Some weeks I'm sitting there for 60 minutes like, nothing happened.
Where's the entertainment line for you? Like, what crosses and you're like, now I'm entertained?
How intrigued do you need to be?
That's a good question. How intrigued do you have to be to cross over into entertain? Because Goggins is having a moment to have both of those shows going Sunday nights where he's the critical character. He's been, for all this time with McBride and others, he's been number 2. He's rising to a number 1, especially because on Gemstones, he's using a prosthetic of a 78-year-old penis.
That's amazing.
Can I get the sound of White Lotus creator Mike White telling his customers, you're not allowed to be a bossy bottom?
There was complaining about how there's no plot, and that part I find weird because it never had a like it's never been. It's like part of me is just like, bro, this is the vibe. Like, I'm world building. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you don't want to go to bed with me, get out of my bed. Like, you know what I mean? I'm edging you. You know, it's like, enjoy the edging. Like, if you don't want to be edged, get out of my bed. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, don't be a bossy bottom, or get the out of my bed. Like, don't come home with me. Don't get naked in my bed. Get the fuck out of my bed.
All right.
I love being edged by you, Mike.
Like, obviously, something's going to happen. I'm not going to just we're not
going to leave you here. I'm not going to leave you here with nothing.
Seems defensive.
Not a great moment for him. I mean, I like him. I used to watch him on Amazing Race and then Survivor, so I'm a big Mike White guy. I'm less interested, honestly, in his art than his reality TV appearances. But I mean, if you say the sentence "I'm world building," you kind of lose me.
Triple H had the exact same reaction to people criticizing the build of the WrestleMania main event.
I mean, it's like he had 2 good seasons. This one was a bit of a letdown for people. Like, that's fine. You don't have to get like so angry about it.
I actually get a 4th one. So
I actually thought the 2nd and 3rd season were better than the 1st. Personally,
I don't know what the reaction was. Was it a polarizing reaction to both the ending and the entirety of the season? Were there a lot of complaints? Because popular thing growing, which is what this is, over 3 years, whatever it is, the more it grows, the more criticism it's going to get, no matter how good it becomes, until at the end Game of Thrones is falling apart because there's a Starbucks cup in one of the scenes.
Well, I mean, people were criticizing White Lotus like on episode 3 this season. They were like already out on it. They didn't like it from the beginning, and they were just kind of waiting for it to end to find what to complain about. On Mystery Crate, we were saying how the finale was a legacy episode for Mike White.
Mm-hmm.
Big episode for him.
And what was the conclusion?
Inconclusive.
Yeah, I think he can reel me back in with season 4. If season 4 is good, I'll be back in. I think the common criticism, Dan, was that the finale was unearned. It was just not. A lot of it was a little, predictable.
I found it predictable,
and that is a bummer because I think the first couple seasons, the way the characters die in the first 2 seasons are like totally absurdist and unpredictable, and the way the characters died in this season was like in a sad like shootout at a resort.
Well, some of the stuff was like rushed. Like, spoiler alert. He shoots his dad, and his dad went and yelled at him, and then the wife was like, "That was your dad," and it's like, well,
should have told him.
We did this in Star Wars like 40 years ago. Like it was that part. Yeah, it was just a little.
But we knew that he was going to be the dad.
We knew, but that's what the big reveal was.
I did not. That was a surprise.
Really? What? Wait, what? Hold on, Chris. Wait, hold on, Chris. Walk us through the surprising moments of this season of White Lotus for you.
The lady saying, "He's your dad. He told me this morning." That part.
Well, what did you think? Who did you think his dad was?
I thought his dad had died. I thought that guy had killed his dad.
So did Goggins.
I mean, that's how it was set up the entire story.
All right. I need to stop everyone. Just please, and forgive me for doing this, just because I have to stop Jessica for a moment. I thought if something was a legacy game, whatever happened at the end of that couldn't be inconclusive.
It can't, like COVID tests. Sometimes, remember back in like the height of COVID, you wait in the long line, they'd stick the thing up your nose in your car, you'd have to go like this, and then you have to tilt your head back, and then you'd be waiting around like, can I go on vacation? Can I not? Can I go to work? Can I not? And then it comes back, it's like inconclusive. You're like, how? How is this inconclusive? And it's like, well, they did it 14 times instead of 15 times, so we don't know if you have it or you don't. Same thing with the legacy game, legacy episode, inconclusive.
A legacy game has to be conclusive.
No, not always. Not even soccer. It could be a tie.
Always. It's a legacy game. If it's a legacy game, if it's for your legacy, must be conclusive.
No.
Here, I think what the problem is, Dan, there was enough in the finale that we're not writing off the show completely. There was enough moments.
Then it's not a legacy
Coon's
game.
Monologue was a moment. There were other small moments. Saxon having his tearful look back at Chelsea after he realized
How was he the one that grew the most?
Soulless. Yeah, it's a great question.
The weirdest part of the season. He's the only one that left a better person than when he got there.
What brother would do that?
Yeah, that was a weirder part.
Which part?
I think his legacy moment was.
Do you guys call that part too? You guys saw that part coming?
Very predictable.
I mean,
yeah, there was like a ton of foreshadowing that something weird was going to happen.
First episode, you're like, okay.
Yeah, a ton of foreshadowing. Not that, though. Not that much. Not that much.
Mike White gave us enough.
Yeah, I'll watch season 4.
We're willing to suspend the legacy conversation until season 4 ends.
Then it's not a legacy.
But season 4 is definitely a legacy season.
It's got to be good. It's got to be good.
Big bounce back season we need.
Yeah, I don't understand how you're doing
legacy.
This. It's
legacy episode.
If it's a legacy thing, it ends. It's
inconclusive.
No, it can't.
Sometimes.
No.
Have you ever had a medical exam? They're inconclusive all the time.
It's not a legacy medical exam. It's just a medical exam.
Depends on what they're testing for.
You guys seen that Kanye tweet?
Hey guys, it's Lucy, and I'm about to tell you about the most incredible, unforgettable gift you can get mom this Mother's Day. Have you ever heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site that I order from all the time, where you can get the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants all across the U.S., and they will ship it anywhere across the country for free in time for Mother's Day. Goldbelly will ship gift-worthy cakes from Ina Garten and Martha Stewart, Magnolia Bakery's famous banana pudding, New York bagel brunch directly from the city, or even authentic Chicago deep dish pizza. So whether your mom would love something sweet from one of the country's best bakeries or meals from world-famous chefs, Goldbelly has you covered. It's a super simple process, and the packaging is so cute that I used it for my scrapbook. So, if you are looking to make Mother's Day perfect or want to impress your friends and family with an epic meal next time you host, go to goldbelly.com and get free shipping and 20% off your first order with promo code GBF. That's goldbelly.com, code GBF for free shipping and 20% off your first order.
Folks, the time has come to get some new golf clubs, and that means one thing: heading over to my local PXG store for a fitting. They make the best golf clubs. I'm telling you guys, I went there, in and out, efficient, the nicest staff. If you need to improve your golf game, if you want to scratch strokes off your score, go to PXG, get a fitting. Instantly, the irons fit so perfectly. You get fitted. It's quick. As soon as I got home with my clubs, I go to the range. I'm telling you, I gave away my old clubs. PXG is where it's at, guys. If you need to change your golf game, the fastest way to improve your performance on the golf course is PXG Fitting. The PXG fitters are highly trained, incredibly experienced, and have a deep understanding of how to optimize your clubs to get the most out of your swing. Their fittings, they're educational, they're fun. Schedule your fitting today, and for a limited time, you can save up to 20% off your entire order. Head to pxg.com/Dan. That's pxg.com/Dan to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/Dan. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Folks, the NBA 82-game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for all the high-stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw-dropping plays. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Dan Le Batard.
That was a long story.
Yeah.
That's the only kind he tells.
Here's a short one for me. I tried to speed it up for you guys.
You forgot about the Leagues Cup.
Stugotz.
Yeah.
La Carreta is a place where the best of the celebrations has to be the 97 Marlins celebration because it was Levon
Well,
Hernandez.
when Fidel died the first time.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
He's an NFL analyst for Yahoo Sports. He's the host of the Football 301 podcast. You can also watch Nate on Yahoo Sports Draft Live, streaming for the first 3 rounds on the Yahoo Sports website and app. His first appearance on this show. Thank you for joining us, Nate. Before we get started, though, and play Naughty or Tice, which is the only reason we're having you on, I think, you're most interested about what in this upcoming draft? And thank you again for joining us.
Most interested? I just want to see where the quarterbacks go. As always, I'm basic. You know, quarterbacks, they draw my eyes. I follow the stars. But thank you for having me. But yeah, I just want to see where the quarterbacks end up because there's been a lot of hoopla, a lot of flags being planted. I want to see some of those flags go down.
Hoopla. All right,
that's really what I want to see.
We've already gotten to the hoopla. I thought it was
who.
Okay, so all right, we're at the hoopla. Before we get to draft stuff, did you see the story with A.J. Brown getting his car recovered after it was stolen? Did you see all of this?
I did not. I did not see A.J. Brown's car. Was he reading a book and that's why it's got stolen?
No.
Was he a little distracted reading a book?
I only bring it up because it's breaking news now, and I expect you to know every single thing that is happening anywhere in sports, in the sport right now at this time. So you don't know anything about what I'm talking about.
That'd be a weird.
I do not.
Mobile alert.
I do not. I'm 5 layers deep in the draft. I'm watching Ashton Genty versus Nevada Reno. You know, that's what I'm pulling right now. So did not see A.J. Brown doing that.
All right. right, Billy, get me more information on this story, please, as it breaks. Jessica, I'm sorry I interrupted you with the breaking A.J. Brown news.
Oh, you didn't interrupt me, Dan. I listened to Nate's podcast with Charles, and I'm a huge fan. And he like he said, he's basic. He wants to see where the quarterbacks go. I'm also basic. I want to see where the quarterbacks go. And right now, there's obviously been a lot of news about Shedeur Sanders. Where is he a reach? Where is he sort of a good pick? Like, are the Steelers going to take him at 21? Where do you see that unfolding?
Yeah, I think Steelers kind of seems like I don't know if floor is the right word or ceiling where he can go highest. Because I think what happened with the Shedeur Sanders experience is that I'll say, because it has been experienced this whole draft cycle, is that I think there was more evaluators started evaluating him, the decision makers, the coaches, the GMs, assistant GMs, the ones up top, they all just kind of went, oh, okay, this is what you are. And this is good and bad. And I think that the realistic slotting for him is starting at pick 20 into the early second round. And you never know because teams get frisky with quarterbacks, especially in the 20s. Oh, our guy's dropping. We got to move up for there. But I think that at pick 20 is where, or 21, I believe it's where the Steelers are, is really where it starts for him. Because I just think that it's realistic expectations for him. I view him as a second rounder or a day two guy, as I would put it, because quarterback grading gets wonky and where they actually go. But that is kind of, I think, more of the consensus than not what has been kind of like publicly happening. And I think it's kind of catching up, and we'll see that on draft night. But the Steelers might be one, but we'll see. It can be all over the place because that's how this class, not just quarterbacks, but the entire class of the draft is there's lack of consensus. So it might be even more wonky on a Thursday and Friday than we usually see.
Man, I want to listen to the words you're saying, but I'm just so lost in your eyes. Just beautiful eyes you have.
Swimming in lagoons is what it feels like. He said wonky three times. I didn't hear anything else. There were just a couple of wonkies and something else. And then I was just lost, swimming in his eyes.
I know I'm awake, so my eyes are actually open. Usually they're just slits, and then that's all you can usually see with them. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the blue eye compliments.
Nate, do you know who Andrew Hawkins is?
Yeah.
Who's hotter, him or Method Man?
Hawkins, definitely.
Okay. Wow. I have an update on the A.J. Brown situation. So A.J. Brown's car was stolen, and he put out on Twitter, "Dear Philly, to whoever stole my car last night, I'll make a deal with you. Bring back my car and I won't press charges. Or when I find you today, it's going to be what it's going to be. Take it or leave it, my guy." And his car has been returned, but Brown says the police returned his car and the thief is dealing with consequences. So either he found that car and consequences are being dealt with, or he may have lied to the people saying there'd be no consequences if they returned the car. That's the latest at the news desk. I'm Billy Gill.
Thank you. It's a good story. So basically, A.J. Brown threatened someone, a thief, to return his car successfully.
He made an ultimatum, it sounds like.
Yeah. That is excellent work by A.J. Brown. But I'm surprised that Nate Tice hadn't even heard of the story because, again,
I have not.
I know. Well, but I mean,
if his car was getting drafted, Nate would know about it.
That's
it's
right.
I know about it. I had a late second grade on his car, so I'm surprised it went this early and that he signed a deal to be dropped in the news this early. I thought the new CBA didn't allow that to be signed before the draft.
Nate, Jessica, do me this favor, please, and explain to me something I simply don't understand. Because while I love that Greg Cody does his exactos and his mock drafts, and I've been making fun of him about it for 20 years, I believe that Jessica and Nate care about this draft more than reasonable human beings should. I also believe that our friend Mina Kimes cares about mock drafts in general more than she cares about anything else in the world. And I'm genuinely confused by the phenomenon. Please explain it to me in your words.
Hope. I think that's what it is. I think hope is what you're selling on draft night. And I think that's why they've packaged it, stamped it, and sold it to everybody. I think that's really what it is. And I think, too, is that college football is so big that you have people that, hey, we're playing member berries with some of these guys. Hey, this guy, you know him. He won the Heisman. Hey, this guy was really good, a 4-year starter for your school, which is unlikely now with everyone transferring. But really, that's what you're selling to teams is that all 32 teams have hope. It's the games haven't started. They haven't started 0-6. They haven't started 0-5. They haven't fired their head coach. Their quarterback isn't actually a lemon, and I think that's what you're selling. And also the draft now if you notice, is it's rotating all these cold weather cities. And I think that's been a great thing for actually the NFL. It's like, well, also they make more money off of it. So of course it's a great thing for them. But they have gone, oh, the Super Bowl gets the warm weather cities. Well, how do we reward or bring this event to the fans? And I actually think that's been a good part of this. I know it's in Green Bay this year, which is kind of a pain in the ass for most people to get to. But I know being in Pittsburgh, Chicago, Kansas City, Detroit, it was awesome last year. So I think that's a part of it too, is that it's the fan event. While the Super Bowl is the corporate event, the draft is truly the fan event. And I think that's why so many people get hyped up about it.
The college football side of it is why I mean, I'm a fan of the NFL and college football, but like you said, I love seeing players that I watch play in college get drafted, and usually, especially in the first round, it's like their dream come true. It's like the best day of their lives, unless they get drafted to the Giants or something like that. But I was going through one of your mock drafts in the car yesterday. I was on like a 7-hour car ride, and Lehman was just naming players, and I was giving their positions and where they went to school just because we were bored. And it seems like a really deep draft for edge rushers specifically. Is that the position group that you think has the most value later on in the later rounds?
I would say the deepest position is running back. There might be double-digit running backs in the first 2 days that get selected. I looked it up. The record since the new millennium, since 2000, is 11 in the top 3 rounds. I think the all-time records in the mid-90s was like 15 or 14, which tells you it's a different age. But I think that the running back is the deepest class, with Ashton Genty too on top. And there might be 2 or 3 running backs selected in the first, but edge is another spot. And not just edge, D-line in general is pretty good, pretty deep at the top and into the second day. And actually the position that I think has been kind of overlooked a little bit is that there's some depth at offensive line. There might not be the really, really great guys at the top of the draft, but there's a lot of players, I would say late first, early second, that it's a little juicier than you'd expect. Then I think it's been kind of made out to be. And then tight end is another position that has talent at the top and on day 2. Some interesting guys there, like real tight ends too, not the Mike Gesicki types. I know I'm giving a shout out to Dolphins fans here. So
how dare you blaspheme against Gesicki types? What's wrong with those? What's wrong with Gesicki types? I like Gesicki types.
Can't block.
Oh, okay.
You can't block.
All right. I don't need you disparaging Gesickis around here.
Too many Gesicki references already. He's in a nice little renaissance.
I've got no problem with Gesicki. You're the one I'm fine with Gesicki. You're the one who said shit about him.
I just want him to block once. Just once. Just
that's
once. That's
not what he does.
Block once.
It's not what he does.
Nate, what's the comp for Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball?
The one I've gone with for him as a receiver is Chad Johnson. Chad was a much better route runner, became a very polished route runner, but as far as body type and skills and ball skills and everything like that, they're 1-to-1 really to me. Travis might be a little more explosive, but Odell Beckham's another comparison I've heard with him, but that body type, twitchy, he's just an excellent athlete. And then defensively, I've kind of struggled with a few, like Asante Samuel Sr. might be one. Champ Bailey is another one, which is maybe the high-end comparison. But the fact that I'm comparing Chad Johnson and Champ Bailey to this guy, it kind of speaks to how crazy he is. He's really the top-tier athlete I've watched in a long time. I grew up around Randy Moss, and he's kind of the top athlete I've ever been around. Bobby Bowden, who coached Randy Moss for a semester, I think before he got kicked off and had to go to Marshall, said, hey, Randy Moss or Deion Sanders to me is the barometer for athleticism, and Randy is a bigger Deion. So I'm saying Travis Hunter is a smaller Randy Moss. Well, then I'm comparing him to Deion, which is, kind of in a roundabout way. But no matter what, he's a freak athlete. And there's some rawness with him as a receiver, but just the talent and just his athleticism, that's like he's going to figure it out. That's what's so cool about him.
Nate, while we're doing player comps, what tier of prospect is Ashton Genty? Wow. A historic season, but is he historically a good running back prospect? The speed and power don't jump off the screen like someone like Adrian Peterson's did. Yes, I'm reading that from your quote, Skeets, because you said it was a good question. So
it was a good question. I've been like officially quote unquote evaluating guys for about 10 years now, 11 years. And the top tier running back to me, my favorite running back prospect was Ezekiel Elliott. And then the other guys I would say are in that top tier are Todd Gurley, Bijan Robinson, CMC, and Saquon Barkley. And then if I had to like split that tier, it's Zeke, and then it would be Gurley and Saquon, and then CMC Bijan. I would put Genty in that CMC Bijan tier.
Do these quadrants come to you in your sleep? Like when you're actually dreaming at night, is this in your actual sleep? It is, correct?
Yeah. I grade everything off tiers, and then everything. Oh, that shower was a blue chip shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a day 2 toothbrushing.
Do you guys? Do you guys remember Nate? Excuse me, Nate Tice's playing career. Do any of you remember his playing career?
Played at Wisconsin.
This interview is longer than my career.
No. Do you want to give me the? Can you guys get me the stats from the game? Does Nate know the stats?
Did he only play one game?
Nate, I have one stat ever. It's one rush for 17 yards, 1 touchdown. And 17 is also how many drinks I had that night. So that was to celebrate it.
What was the score of that game?
Oh, my God. Didn't we drop 80 on him? And then Mike Golick Sr. called us out and actually said it was an embarrassment to the sport. It was like 83-20, I think. I was the human victory cigar in college.
Wait a minute. You averaged 17 yards a carry at Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, 1 for 1, baby. One touch, 1 touchdown. That's how we do it.
Can you believe Indiana made the playoff before Wisconsin did?
No. Wisconsin football is a little touchy subject right now. It's not. I'm not happy with what's going on there. Running the air raid for 2 years. What are we doing here?
Let's speed him up a little bit. Bit before we get him out of here and before we play Naughty or Tice. Are you ready to play Naughty or Tice?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
First, before we play Naughty or Tice, just fill in the blank. You just mentioned best running back prospect you've ever seen, best quarterback prospect you have ever seen.
Andrew Luck. Easily. He's the best prospect ever.
Best offensive lineman prospect you have seen.
Tristan Wirfs.
Best wide receiver prospect you have seen.
Oh, that's hard. Marvin Harrison Sr. Actually, no, that's a lie. Julio Jones, but that was maybe a little before me.
The most likely to be transcendent superstar not named Travis Hunter is blank.
Ooh, that's a great question. Not named. Oh, I would say Abdul Carter would probably be the one.
Naughty or Tice? Shedeur Sanders deserves to have his jersey retired at Colorado.
Good question.
So Tice's I agree and Naughty's I do not agree.
You get it.
Don't complicate this game,
Naughty or Tice. Come on,
Don't complicate this game.
Naughty.
All right, he's naughty. What happened, Billy?
I just doesn't seem to get this game.
Billy, you're executive producing it. You want to help me out?
Okay. Omarion Hampton will be a first-round pick in the draft. Naughty or Tice?
Tice.
One word, like it.
Okay, everyone is sick of Aaron Rodgers, and he won't be signed before the draft. Naughty or Tice?
Tice. I'm not before the draft. I think that's going to be a little bit after that.
Okay.
But you want me to expand on that running back one? Yeah, there might be 3 running backs that go in the first round. But yeah.
All right, Naughty or Tice? Trevor Lawrence is not that guy.
Naughty. Absolutely naughty. No, Trevor Lawrence is legit.
Are you saying naughty to him not
Chris,
being that guy?
I'm confused by this game. I'm confused which answer
totally
means.
Following.
Yeah, naughty or Tice. Yeah,
the question
more
was
than 2 QBs.
He's not that guy, and he said not to that. So that's 2 negatives. So he's saying that he is that guy.
But he's not positive that Trevor Lawrence is good.
Why are you guys complicating such a simple game?
I'm positive he's good. I'm very positive he's good. It's just that a lot of people watching Jacksonville at 1 p.m. Are we all watching Jacksonville Jaguars tape?
Naughty or Tice? It's very simple. All right, Naughty or Tice? Ben Johnson will lead the Bears to a winning record this season.
Tice. I think they just go over the edge.
I'm
actually buying the Bears hype this year. Finally,
Naughty or Tice? More than 2 quarterbacks will be taken in the first round of the NFL draft this year.
Naughty. One of my bold takes is only 1 will go in the first round.
Naughty or Tice? Nico Iamaleava got bad advice.
Oh, Tice. He got real bad. Well, Tennessee might be happy with it. I think he got bad advice trying to up the number and everything. I think he should have just taken his soup and been happy with it, to be honest, based on his play.
Is that an expression?
So I do think he got bad advice.
What expression was that? What was that expression?
I have no idea. That was a roundabout
What happened?
metaphor.
Was there soup taken there?
In my head, I pictured, can I have some more, sir? like that came to my head mid-sentence.
Look, all right, this is disgusting.
Do you know where that's from, Chris?
I do, but Toroy.
Nate,
come on, man.
Nate, it is not Naughty or Tice, and then like you gotta pick either Naughty or Tice.
Can I propose?
I've been answering, and then a comma.
Can I propose a spin-off to Naughty or Tice? Naughty and Tice, and we ask you a question. You tell us the Naughty side, and then from the other perspective, the people that think it's Tice.
Jackson Dart is no longer attending the draft in Green Bay because he will not be drafted in the first round.
Tice. I think he goes in the second.
But
I think the Saints do like him, though.
But he's asking you to play the game differently. He's asking you to make the argument on one side for Naughty and on the other.
The Naughty side is that he is going the first round. He just wanted to be with his family and just hang out. The Tice side is that actually he's going on day 2, which is where he should be going. I think that's my perspective on it.
Nate, our guy, our special boy, Riley Leonard, Naughty or Tice, day 2 player this year.
Naughty side is that, no, have you watched him throw? Oh my God,
Yes.
that's day 3. The Tice side is, oh my God, yes, he is. He's a surprising guy that might go on day 2, maybe even top 90, because he's a good athlete, he's tough, and he actually has a little bit more arm talent than people give him credit for. But yes, that is our guy, Jess, me, you, and Mike Gold Jr.
Yes.
Hand up. I think I made this game more confusing now.
Yeah, you
because
did.
We're not getting any
Very
answers.
You did.
Absolutely.
And he
Just both
extended it,
answers.
and
I don't know what he believes and what he doesn't
Executive
anymore.
produced by Billy Gill, ladies and gentlemen. Naughty or Tice? Thank you.
Ooh, wait, one more. Naughty or Tice? Andrew Luck, considering the hype and how he retired early because of injury, bust?
Naughty. That's I'm not even going with the Tice side there. That's naughty.
Executive produced by Billy Gill. One last question. Thank you. Appreciate your time, Nate. It is true. Your eyes are lagoons.
Tice. They are lagoons.
Thank you.
Folks, listen up. They're here and they're hot. Get ready because Jimmy John's is turning up the heat. After years of perfecting the cold sandwich, toasted sandwiches are finally here. Try one of their 3 all-new toasted creations. The Toasted Chicken Bacon Ranch, all-natural chicken, creamy home-style ranch, applewood smoked bacon, melted provolone, fresh veggies, all on a perfectly toasted French bread. Good God, does that sound delicious. Or the Toasted Roast Beef and Cheddar, premium roast beef, melty cheddar, creamy horseradish sauce, crispy fried onions, fresh veggies, golden toasted French bread. It just keeps getting better. And the Toasted Ultimate Italian, salami, capicola, smoked ham, applewood smoked bacon, melted provolone, shredded Parmesan, fresh veggies toasted to perfection. Or take your favorite Jimmy John classics like the number 9 Italian Nightclub or the number 11 Country Club and get them toasted. Order now at jimmyjohns.com, on the Jimmy John's app, or stop by your local Jimmy John's today.
Hey, you in the audience, it's Mike. You've been a fan of this show, hopefully, for a long time, and you know how much Miller Lite means to me. This partnership, it's real. It's documented. For almost 20 years, Miller Lite has been a partner of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz, and now Miller Lite is celebrating its 50th anniversary. I've had so many great moments with Miller Lite, so many great activations, so many great events presented by Miller Lite, a great partner. Cheers to them. Cheers to 50 incredible years. And for you at home, you know that Miller time always means a good time. From game night to parties with friends or a special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Now's a perfect time to celebrate legendary stories with friends, family, and a great tasting light beer. It's Miller time. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.